Hi and welcome to BonVoyageTV. I'm Jared Murphy from BonVoyage Cruises and Travel, and this is our TV show. I'm joined by Olivia Van Leerop. Hello, Olivia.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm not too bad, a little bit chilly today.
Oh, I don't know. You're a cold person. You're ice queen. We'll talk about Disney later. But, well, with that being the subject matter, what's the coldest place you've ever been to?
I guess I would say Alaska, but actually when I was there it was summertime and there were days when I was sunbathing on the deck in my bikini. It was that warm. If it was a still day and the sun was out, it was actually gorgeous. So possibly Sweden actually. I was up there when it was pretty chilly.
It has been cold in the last week. The coldest place I've ever been to, I think, was Lucerne at Christmas with a huge snowfall, but perhaps even a little bit colder than that was a place called Bagnols-sur-Cèze, a village where my sister lived in the south of France for a while. They got a very nasty Mistral wind that came off the Alps. Used to cause depression. Probably still does cause depression in France, but that biting wind that's probably the coldest.
Yeah.
Coldest I remember ever being, though, was swimming at Milford Sound off the side of the little boat down there at Easter time. That was bone chilling.
Very chilly.
But we're going to talk about some nice warm destinations shortly.
That'll be nice.
But I just, I see you've got there the record departure numbers for New Zealanders travelling overseas last year. And why don't you give us the top 10?
Okay, so number 1 being Australia, which makes sense. Number 2, United States of America, which I thought was kind of surprising. Number 3, Fiji. 4, United Kingdom. 5, China. 6, Cook Islands. 7, Samoa. 8, India. 9, Thailand. 10, Indonesia.
The big movers over the last few years in that list have been China and India, and that's because this is New Zealand residents travelling overseas, not necessarily just on holiday.
Yeah.
But one thing that, just while we talk about cold weather, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those destinations are always hot. Australia, United States, hot most of the time.
Depending on where you are.
Yeah, depending where you are. What else in there? China is hot in the summer, but poor old UK is never hot.
Never.
Andy, our director here, is off to UK next week, but I'm sorry, Andy, summer this year in UK is on the 23rd of August.
Just miss it.
So moving right along, you know, with winter in New Zealand, you always know it's winter, not because of the weather report particularly, but I always find TVNZ and the news channels give us the same video almost every year. There's one I couldn't find, but I will find one day, of the buses in Dunedin not being able to get to the hill suburbs, sliding around. But there's always these ones of traffic in Dunedin and, you know, standstill in the snow. But I also found this lovely little photo taken last week in Otago of some fantails. And if you look, it's not a very clear photo, but if you look at it, you think there's about 10 fantails in there. I think the closest anyone's got to it, there's 21.
Yeah, all squished up.
Now these little fantails, I'm sure, would rather be going somewhere nice and warm. So after the break, we're going to take you to Tahiti. But in the meantime, don't be cold. Have a look at this. welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. Oh my goodness, can I go there? It just looks so incredible and warm at the moment.
It is warm, and
Yes.
the turquoise waters. Tahiti is just a stunning destination.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you want to get out to the outer islands. Papeete, the city, is okay. It's a city. There's still some nice beach areas around there, but you want to get out to the outer islands, and one good way of doing it is on a cruise, of course. We've had Tony in talking about Windstar Cruises. There's several operators up there. One of the other ones is Paul Gaugin Cruises. And we want to show you this lovely video. It gives you a great appreciation of how it all works and just some of that stunning scenery. So check this out.
Nehe nehe roa.
Paradaitu.
Really paradise.
That's heaven on earth, right there.
This ship has something magical about it.
A wow experience.
This is completely luxurious.
Your worries just disappear. There's a kindness here, a sense of warmth, a beauty that you don't feel other places.
Oh, it's magnificent.
It's like a different world.
You go home with a beautiful memory. You feel pampered all day long, you know.
It's a wonderful place. Maeva.
It's hypnotizing. When you arrive in French Polynesia, it's so dramatic and it's so beautiful. You quickly become enthralled with the islands. We've been working with the Paul Gaugin for 12 years, from the very first cruise, so it was a natural step for us to acquire the ship.
One of the great things about our ship is the way we can get into all the little nooks and crannies and bays and lagoons.
We are born to be here.
Yeah, I think it's the right size, large enough to offer a luxury cruise experience, small enough to really fit in close to all of the private, intimate little bays.
So you can really feel the nature here.
You can get right down next to the water with the aft marina deck.
And of course you can snorkel, water ski. We have excellent diving team who take you really to a few of the best places in the world to dive.
I think that people everywhere are looking for a place where they can come and be themselves. This is a place where the stresses of the world fall away. You get back in touch with the things that are most important to you. French Polynesia is home for me. I've lived here for 25 years, so this is definitely home. In terms of music and dance, we have the Gaugins on board, which are beautiful and incredibly talented young women.
The Gaugins are such an important facet of life on board,
And the way you introduce some aspects of Tahitian folklore and life in Tahiti with the guests.
but we are really enjoying what we are doing. It's really sharing our life.
I love to share and show the people story of my islands, the culture and all the activity, dance and sport. We have several Tahitian activity on board and which you don't find anymore in the islands.
What I love the most is to see the big smile on their face, the happiness when we share our life, our culture.
Polynesia is a place where the senses take over. Grant, this is great. I love the way we weave Polynesian flavors into our dishes, especially for Polynesian night. What is this, a mahi-mahi?
It's a mahi-mahi caught locally with a banana caramelized polenta, bananas from Bora Bora, with a green bok choy, which is grown here in Moorea. It's one of my favorites.
It's fantastic.
I think our guests are expecting a high quality of service, a high standard of food, international styles of cuisine, and just a good variety. We have 3 different restaurants offering all 3 different cuisines. A French menu in La Veranda and also the Polynesian with the Asian influence in the grill. L'Etoile, it's more of an international style cuisine with changing menus daily. It's very relaxed, very casual. You know, there's no pressures to try and be somebody different than what you are.
Way to go, guys. It's great. Makes me hungry just looking at it. The Paul Gaugin has a long legacy of excellence. And of course, Condé Nast Traveler has consistently listed us among the top-rated small luxury cruise ships in the world. The Paul Gaugin is great value for money.
You know, guests really enjoy the all-inclusive nature of the ship because they don't have to be signing for things all the time. They really feel relaxed and they feel they can thoroughly enjoy the ship.
Leave the money issues
Exactly.
at home.
I have many people say when they go home, this has been the happiest experience of my life. And it's a remarkable thing that people would say that.
And all-inclusive is really all-inclusive.
Yes.
Virtually everything, including tips even,
and the marina.
And the marina, all activities off of the marina deck.
You know, we have the snorkeling and the windsurfing and the water skiing, some great activities, you know. We have our naturalist program. We have our Ambassador of the Environment program for the children. We have Jean-Michel Cousteau who comes on board.
We also have our private beaches in Bora Bora, and we have our famous Motu Mahana in Taha. It has one of the most extraordinary snorkeling sites.
You teach somebody a new experience, you know, it's you kind of touch them, you know. When they go, wow, that's what I like.
One of the most astonishing things that we have here in the islands is the underwater world. These are very delicate marine ecologies. They need to be protected. Pacific Beachcomber has been devoted to sustainable development since before it became fashionable to talk about. We have voluntary green teams in each of our hotels, and we operate a turtle clinic here in Moorea. We are also the world pioneer in the use of seawater for air conditioning, which is in place at our hotel in Bora Bora, the Thalasso Intercontinental. We don't inherit the earth from our parents, we borrow it from our children. Humans have an abiding need to discover and visit remote places. It's really not that far. 2 hours more than Hawaii. There's so much more Polynesia for those 2 hours.
Just sitting there and watching the nature, the colors, it's fantastic for me.
It's amazing. It's a beautiful experience.
It's a journey you have to do in your lifetime.
It's like an untouched paradise.
I'm still spellbound sometimes.
You really connect with people on a ship this size. And people come back year after year now because they want to recapture that special moment.
The ship has a real soul. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful.
And wasn't that just beautiful? That is my inspiration to get out of Auckland for the winter.
Oh, it's only short winter here. How can it be? But it is a fabulous way of seeing Tahiti, and they've given us a pretty good deal, of course. So let me give you some details.
Okie doke.
So, Olivia, I can send you to Tahiti on a fabulous Paul Gaugin cruise. It's not going to cost you too much money.
Excellent.
So this is a 10-day deal. flies with Air Tahiti Nui, which is the airline of Tahiti, of course, just like it sounds. They're a very good airline. They're flying in really nice new aircraft. And of course, when you get on in Auckland, you're getting the instant Tahitian holiday feeling.
Beautiful.
So you're there. We'll put you up for 3 nights in the Le Méridien Resort Hotel.
Excellent.
Before your cruise. You get your breakfast each morning. We will give you a half-day Papeete tour, 7 nights on Paul Gaugin on that beautiful ship. And that includes all your meals. There's three different restaurants, all your beverages, including wine, beer, and selected spirits. Don't drink too much. All the onboard entertainment, a lot of those sports activities off the back of the boat, use of non-motorised sporting equipment, all your port taxes, airline taxes, and we've got a number of dates over the winter, and that starts from 5,349. So
wow,
it's a
that's
good
very
deal.
affordable.
Very affordable.
That's flights and everything.
Yep.
Incredible.
Shall I put you on?
Yes,
Put you down?
do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So Olivia's off. So Olivia's off, and that's not the only nice warm place you can go this winter. There's still the opportunity for you to win our trip to Hawaii with New Zealand's Best Packer competition, and we'll have more on that shortly.
At In Vivo, we've got the biggest crush on Graham Norton. So we flew all the way to his place so he could have a crush on us. Graham Norton's own Sauvignon Blanc. Southern Hemisphere grapes meet Northern Hemisphere fab.
The spirit of our home lives in moments like these. Hawaiian Airlines. Hawaii flies with us.
So now it's time to find out who the weekly winner is in our New Zealand's Best Packer competition. So who's our winner?
The lucky winner, Gerard, is Ira Upadhyay for our amazing Voyager luggage.
So here's Ira's nicely produced video. Check it out.
Too much with these warm, beautiful places. I feel like I'm getting colder by the minute sitting here in Auckland.
Well, that's what we do in our office. We have the air conditioning down so people come in and they're looking at a warm holiday.
Yeah.
Turn it down. I've got to go. But you were telling me during the break about Sweden and the end of winter.
Oh yeah, so one thing that I was amazed by is that it was springtime, so it was warming up in Sweden, but it was still freezing. I was still walking around with my big jersey and all rugged up. And I guess the first spot of any sort of warm sunlight for the Swedes, they were all out. There was big rocks lining the beach, and they were all out sunning themselves like little seals laying on the rocks in their bikinis and their little shorts. And Just loving it.
Probably about 5 degrees.
Yeah, freezing. But for them, it was just, like, beautiful middle of summer in New Zealand kind of thing.
Well, if you haven't seen the sun for 6 months, it's probably quite important.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're all up drinking all night as well because obviously as it moves further into summer, it's long hours of daylight, so they stay up all night. They just worship the sun when it's out.
Well, we worship it as well.
Yeah. I think they're to the extreme though, in a good way.
And what did you worship as a little girl, Olivia?
Oh, it would have to be the Little Mermaid.
Which was a nice segue into our piece. Unplanned, of course.
Not planned at all. That was very convenient.
Yeah. Nice segue into our piece about Disneyland. Because what you probably don't know, because you weren't around, mind you, I wasn't either, on the 17th of July 1955, Disneyland opened in Anaheim, California, on what used to be an orchard grove. A guy called Walt Disney and his brother Roy, who doesn't get talked about much, Roy, but
no.
Walt Disney and his brother had a studio and film production business for many years. So Walt was the imaginative one, the dreamer. Roy was the business manager.
Yep.
But Walt had always wanted to have this theme park that was just total fantasy land for kids. So Disneyland opened in 1955 on the 17th of July. But for some strange reason, the Americans start their celebration in May for July. I don't know why. I think because they've got so much to celebrate.
Yeah.
And they want to have everyone coming to Disneyland over summer being part of this. They've got some fantastic new light shows and everything. And on opening day, one of the stars there was one Ronald Reagan.
Oh.
Yeah, he was an actor at the time. One interesting fact I found in my research was on opening day there were 28,000 people attended.
Yes.
It was invitation only, and Disney printed 14,000 tickets. So the rest were 14-odd thousand tickets were counterfeit.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Still let them in.
They were Mickey Mouse tickets.
Yes, very good. See, the cold weather suits you. You're on fire today.
So no doubt you've been to Disneyland then?
I've been 3 times.
Oh, my goodness. And what's your favourite ride?
Well, I never went as a child, but I went with a couple of friends when I was 21, and we had a lot of fun. We parked ourselves at Anaheim in a place called the Fantasy Inn, which was a very cheap motel across the road. I've got some stories about that, but I won't relay them.
Sounds fancy.
It was. But so we went and we actually had 3 full days at Disneyland. But the best ride is, Walt Disney was a real train buff, model trains. So one of his favourite rides was Thunder Mountain Railroad. And that's my favourite ride because we went back after, I was young, we went back after dinner, we'd had a few drinks, and it was 4th of July, biggest day at Disneyland. Park was open till 3 in the morning.
Yep.
We went around Thunder Mountain Railroad 12 times in a row. There were no queues, we didn't get off. It was really, so that's my little favourite.
Yeah, oh, awesome.
But Disney these days, it evolves the whole time, so they've had all of the big Disney movies have their own attraction, Cars and all those ones, and Frozen is the big thing.
Yeah, that's huge at the moment.
And that terrible song. If you've got any young ones in your family, you'll know that terrible Frozen song. Anyway, that's part of the big new light show. Part of this big 60th birthday celebration is a fantastic new parade. You've seen some of the video as we've been talking, and it finishes with the famous song, When You Wish Upon a Star.
Now, Gerard, aren't you a little bit old for this? I think you just need to let it go.
Oh, don't say this.
Let it go.
You are never too old for Disneyland. You're never too old for Disneyland. I've been 3 times as an adult. I would love to go again. I think my brother wants to take his kids, and my adorable little identical twin nephews, I call the Identi-neffs. I want to take them. But the best thing about Disneyland is Walt Disney's vision for it, and the Disney company is back sort of working with that vision. But Walt Disney said Disneyland will never be completed. It will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in the world.
Oh, it's really inspirational, isn't it?
And they've kept it going, and they're constantly evolving. It's a fantastic place. And even today, for Kiwis, it still only costs about $75 or $80 a day.
Yeah.
And it's magic. It's still magic.
Yeah.
We've got some fantastic airfares to the United States. If you want to take your kids, grandkids, anyone's kids, or if you're an adult, you can still have a lot of fun. I love Disneyland. I want to go back.
Let it go.
Let it go again. So on that note, I think we better let everyone go.
Bon voyage.